9 Premier League fans.
I don't even think Declan Rice is top 3 most important players in your team.
Are you? One heated question.
This record will never, ever, ever be broken.
2 step up for debate. The other 7 listen and pick a side. But nothing is final.
And I'd like to see some respect shown to Sir Mikel Arteta.
At any moment they can switch sides if the argument sways them. Who stands firm and who will cross the line?
Well, it's in the Arsenal DNA to know how to bottle things. It's a bit like that in the north side of London. But it's just in the Chelsea DNA to win trophies. Luke knows we beat them in the biggest stage. We've won Premier League titles. We're on the verge of coming back to that. We're spending big money. We're investing into the club. We've got the American investors. And I don't think Enzo Maresca could be there. It could be anybody. We're going to win trophies, but we are invested into this project, and I believe they're going to back Enzo Maresca to stay there for quite some time. And Chelsea just find ways to win trophies, and you just always seem to bottle it.
Look, Chelsea, I'm a little bit jealous of Chelsea in what they've won. However, I think a lot of the things that you're mentioning are going to outlast the current gaffer that you've got. Chelsea have got a proven track record of not being loyal to their gaffers when, you know, the days get a little bit dark. You've had 6 managers since Arteta has come in. So I think this season is probably a bit all or nothing for Maresca, especially given what you're saying. You've backed him heavily. So if he doesn't deliver this season, where do you sort of go from there? I'm already hearing Frank Lampard could return for the 3rd time, I don't know. And for me, Arteta is on the cusp of greatness. Once we get that muscle memory of lifting a trophy, it's going to keep flooding and keep flooding. He's built a dynasty that could last a lot longer than Maresca will at Chelsea.
The thing is what phase are you in? How many years has it taken for Mikel Arteta to even be near to winning a Premier League trophy? Now, Arsenal, you can parade your FA Cups all you want over the past couple of years, but the real trophies of what you need to do is win the Premier League, win the Champions League. And he's had enough years now, Arteta, with building this team. And this year, with everyone being as pony as they are, if you don't find a way to win it, I'm pretty sure he'll be out the door. And will he get a job in Italy somewhere? Maybe. But will he win trophies? I'm not too sure. The bottling DNA might be running through his veins.
Well, look, the thing is, if you want to keep it strictly Arsenal-Chelsea, I think Arteta will for sure go on to win more trophies in his overall career because he's an elite-level manager. I don't think Maresca's an elite-level manager. Maresca will probably end up at your, Fiorentina's, Real Betis's potentially. Arteta's not. Arteta's going for a potential Barcelona. He's at that level. Maresca isn't. Let me ask you a question. If you don't win anything this season, does Maresca stay or go?
I still think he has time. I still feel like we've won. The thing is, with our investors, they're a bit blindsided. So they think that the world champions are a big thing. So the fact that we've won that for them and they believe that we are the world champions, the amount of glazing that PSG did get from January to May, and we destroyed them in that final. And like we said, we've been in the naughty corner. We've been in the Europa Conference League. We've shown people how to win that. We will just continue to win things if we are backed. And if he is there for the project, he will win things.
Listen, I think if we were in a Conference League, we'd probably be level on trophies. Maresca's got 2, Arteta's got 1. Maresca's got 2 when you count the Club World Cup.
The Emirates Trophy, wasn't it?
A little bit.
That was Emirates Trophy, really.
That's a conversation for another day. But Arteta's won some Community Shields. If you want to chuck that in there.
How did he qualify? Where did he finish to qualify for the Community Shield again? 2nd, didn't you? Yeah, and just because we'd won it all, you got a free pass.
Yeah.
And that FA Cup you won.
Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute.
Team,
Why are you jumping in? This is an Arsenal-Chelsea debate. No, I think another important thing you've got to talk about Arteta is he's built a core. I don't know if Chelsea have a core in their team. Do you have 3-4 players that are guaranteed to start for the next 2-3 years? Probably not.
100%.
Arteta, go on.
Moises Caicedo.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer. Esteval. Star boys. Not like your star boy who's
Listen,
struggling for a bit
I've seen
of form.
Estevals fall off a couple of times for Chelsea.
Yeah?
I've seen a couple of Estevals come in and out of Chelsea.
I don't know about that.
Arsenal have got David Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori, Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Eze, Odegaard.
Listening to him speak, it's dream world. It does seem a bit dreamy. It's all ifs and buts. Like they've had the chance to show.
If we're counting like low level trophies, I'm definitely on the right side.
Yeah. We're going to get used to doing that, and it's going to be free rolling from there. In my personal opinion, I think Arteta will probably leave this club with 5, 6, maybe 7 trophies.
This is his last chance.
Oh no!
This is his last chance to win something before I think he's out that door. So unless he wins it this year, like I said, there is no competition around you. How can you find a way to bottle it? Luke's a bit confident that he's on the brink of coming back there, but I don't know. If Mikel Arteta doesn't win it this year, he could be finished for the rest of his career.
How can you be backing Enzo Maresca to win more trophies if you're saying that we've got no competition? Why aren't you going to back your gaffer to compete for the title? You're third in the league. Do you not have that belief in him that he could get it over the line potentially? You've spent £2 billion since your new owners come in. There's not really any excuse for you to not go and challenge. We've spent a lot of money, but we've recruited proper players, a proper core. For you to stand there and say to me that we've got no competition when you have got every right to be competing, I think is a little bit disrespectful to Maresca.
We will compete because the players we buy 50 players a season. We will find the gems where we need to. Like Caicedo, like Cole Palmer, like Stevo. We are slowly but gradually, we might make mistakes. We might have recalling Trevor Chalobah. Disassi might be a failed signing. But we do sign top quality players at the same time, and we will spend year in, year out until we win something. That is the Chelsea way.
I want to say I'm on an absolute 50-50 here because I think both managers are terrible.
What do you think Chelsea win this year, if anything?
We could win an FA Cup, not a Community Shield, but an FA Cup, a League Cup. We're in the Champions League. We are the knockout kings. We are the cup team. We find ways to win things that people write us off. We was in the final against City. They were the best team in the world for years. We still found a way to beat them.
Okay, I think Arsenal will win the Premier League this season, and after that happens, people will start respecting Mikel Arteta for what he's done for Arsenal Football Club. Yes, we've bottled it in the past, but we're there, and I think we'll do it this season. And I'd like to see some respect shown to Sir Mikel Arteta.
So for me, Maresca is in a more volatile environment. I feel like with Chelsea, he hasn't done much. Prior to that, he was only at Leicester. So if he gets sacked by Chelsea, I can't see him doing much with his career, whereas Arteta has actually built a foundation at Arsenal.
It's a hard choice because obviously neither of them could beat us, but I just think the fact that Arteta's been there, so long and still won one trophy, it's not good enough. Maresca's been there, 2 years or something, already got 2 trophies.
Yeah, Arteta was at City 2 seasons. He won 6 trophies in 2 seasons at City, and he's won 1 in 7 years at Arsenal. So I think Maresca getting 2 trophies there already says a lot about him.
He mentioned the trophy that Arteta's already won, which the big one was the FA Cup. I don't even think it was his squad personally. And when he's talking, I don't believe he believes what he's saying, which makes me believe that the players don't believe in their manager either, if the fans don't.
It's a bit silly now, isn't it?
You're even agreeing with me.
I don't even think it's actually a debate. It is a debate. Moises Caicedo, look, I'm going to start off by saying I think Moises Caicedo is world class and is sort of in the conversation with Declan Rice. But I don't think that there's anything Moises Caicedo can do that Rice can't and more. I think Moises Caicedo, defensively and going forward, brilliant. Same with Rice. The difference is Rice can also whip in the greatest corner you've ever seen, whip in a free kick potentially, doesn't stop running for 94 minutes every single week. Best ability is availability. He is constantly available, doesn't miss a game, doesn't miss a trick, 7 out of 10 minimum every single game, and he pops up with a goal here and there.
I wouldn't like to say the same, well, it sounded like you were just describing Moises Caicedo, to be honest, because I feel like what we've seen with Moises Caicedo is that he's been left on quite an island by himself, having to do a lot of the dog work and stuff like that, and he's not necessarily just a dog. He can also build up play, he's good on the ball, a lot of your fan base don't even like Declan Rice in progressing passes. They're trying to come up with all these statistics this year of line-breaking passes or chances created. Most of them are from the set pieces. So in terms of where he's actually playing, I think Moises Caicedo if he's given the ability to go and play where Rice is playing, I think you'll be able to see a lot more from Caicedo, and the limitations of Rice, of where you see him not being able to break lines. I think that's where Caicedo would be able to show that he is better than Declan Rice.
Can you give me one attribute, one, that Moises Caicedo has that Declan Rice doesn't?
No, I feel like both of them have the similar attributes, but I feel like the ball winning and the ball ability on the feet, like definitely dog work. Well, dog work definitely. He's capable. I've never seen, other than Kante, people being able to win a ball from very unpeculiar places, wrapping himself around.
Literally, Sunderland the other week.
Declan has great awareness. He has great like positional awareness for where he can pick up the seconds. But in terms of actual combat and where we're asking Caicedo to actually win challenges, he's having to do that over
Declan Rice
such a
does
bigger
all of
area.
this.
Declan Rice does do that.
Does all
he
of
does
it.
do that, but he's given that ability to win that ball in a small confined area because of Zubamendi beside him. Caicedo has got Enzo playing in the box.
Individual brilliance doesn't require an excuse of anyone around
João
them.
Pedro is playing in the box. Enzo is playing in the box for 90% of our games. And Lavia, who would be sitting beside Caicedo, who would allow him to get up with the team and be in the right position, we're not being able to see that. And all we're getting to see, people will argue that Caicedo is just as important as Cole Palmer. And Cole Palmer is one of the best players in the league right now.
I'm not disputing
Declan Rice
Caicedo's
is not even.
importance.
I don't even think Declan Rice is top 3 most important players in your team.
Are you?
Gabriel,
you cannot say that. You simply cannot say that. Sean. I watch Arsenal every single week. Declan Rice is categorically our most important player.
There are certain
because
games
if we
where you
didn't have him, there would be the biggest hole you have ever seen in a midfield. Look at last season, for example. Thomas Partey was knackered after 45 minutes. Declan Rice was constantly on it, running till he simply couldn't run anymore.
Name the three. You've lost us there. Name the three.
No, listen, Gabriel Magalhaes.
Declan Rice way more important.
No, but keep going. There's three.
Defenders, I'm not too sure. I think you're more on a positional. No, they're on a positional thing. Bukayo Saka is more important than Declan Rice. It is a fact.
Madueke could come in, he wouldn't be as good as Saka, but he's...
See, this is the thing. You're too fixated on a position of a player that could go and win the ball and break up play.
Let him say three.
Yes, he is important to that team in terms of the positional awareness, but in terms of the star players that are in that team that are important to winning them games, and it's Bukayo Saka.
Do you know how many games Declan Rice has won for us?
It's
having a laugh?
Odegaard is more of an important
It's not
player.
just
When
the
he
free
is fit,
kicks.
You've got players like
Odegaard more important than Rice.
Listen, you've got multiple players that are you've got multiple players. Listen, you have multiple players that play in the Arsenal side. You lost the league title because of Gabriel Magalhaes not being there, not because of Declan Rice's availability. You say Declan Rice is available week in, week out. You capitulated when Gabriel got
We didn't have him as good of a
capitulated. Bukayo Saka capitulated. When Bukayo Saka got
denying
injured
that Gabriel's
and Gabriel got injured,
Sean, if
capitulated.
we lost Declan Rice, we would be bottom half.
This is what I'm telling you.
Everything in our team.
This is why I named the 3 players of Gabriel, Saliba, and Saka.
No, stop saying that because we're going to go that way again.
No, because Gabriel was instrumental in the fact that defence looked solid.
Odegaard is
But
not
you'll never know what we look
solid.
like. You'll never know what we look like without
No.
Rice because he's too fit. He doesn't get injured.
I've got multiple Arsenal fans in your fan base that can't stand Declan Rice.
Well,
There's
they need to actually go and get their
people
heads
that
checked.
don't even like Declan Rice. They would rather have a midfield
Well, you
with
need
him
to
not
find new
being in
mates.
there.
You need to find new
Well,
friends.
I don't know about
absolute-
that, but I just believe that Moises Caicedo, given the opportunity to go and play in that 8 role, you'll see a lot more of his game than what Declan Rice has at just being able to whip in across and whip in a set piece.
Why
He
have
does
they put
quite
him,
a lot
rather than
more
put
than
him in an 8, why do sometimes teams have played him deeper? Right back. Caicedo. If he could do that forward.
That's just tactical stuff, no, because we've had no option of being able to have midfielders. Like, he's trying to use Enzo as a box.
You also mentioned that with Caicedo, Enzo's there, this is that. When Declan was at West Ham and he had nothing around him, he still performed.
No, yes,
Still
100%. 100%.
There was no excuses.
100% Declan Rice performed, but Caicedo has been performing non-stop for donkeys.
It was so tight, as you could tell, with all the chopping and changing. But I think what pipped it was when you said how integral Caicedo is to Chelsea compared to Arsenal have a few other players who are also super integral. And Caicedo running the show on his own, doing the dog work and the rest. And that's what pipped it for me on the Chelsea side.
When Matt said, name a thing that Caicedo can do that Declan can't, that's when I had to move all the way around because Declan can do all he can do, because I've seen it at West Ham, as well as set pieces, score goals, leadership, like vocal leader as well, leads by example. He's just literally, he's Roy of the Rovers. That's what we used to call it in my era. Roy of the Rovers. That's Declan Rice.
Shaun chopped and changed the points. I think he lost me on a couple of his arguments when he was saying that the likes of Odegaard, I know he changed it, he said Odegaard was more important. I think Rice is very important to this Arsenal team.
Well, I'm going to start this off anyway because I'm a big advocate for Cole Palmer having to be in this England side. Now, Chelsea's best performances have come from Cole Palmer being on the right-hand side, and I know it's an uncomfortable conversation. Arsenal star boy and England star boy for a couple of them tournaments a couple years ago was Bukayo Saka. But we can't hide away from the fact that Cole Palmer is probably the face of English football, even with Jude Bellingham's signing being astronomical and Bukayo Saka for what he's been in the past. But right now, I think that Bukayo Saka is the only type of winger we have in the team that can actually drive at a player and whip in across. And Saka has both feet to be able to deliver on both feet. So I think that personally, I would play Gordon. I would not start Gordon, and I would play Bukayo Saka on the left, Cole Palmer on the right, and play Jude in the 10, because we're going to have to find a place for all three of them in this team. And I genuinely don't understand why Gordon is put into this team when we can use Bukayo Saka as an outlet on the left-hand side to just cross in the balls to Harry Kane, who inevitably wants
Shaun,
the ball to be crossed into.
Is Cole Palmer better in a 10?
No.
No.
Chelsea's performances have been astronomically better with him being on the right-hand side, being able to cut inside and having overlapping fullbacks. Yeah, but as well, even with the England system, I feel like you need to remember, we have to get Jude Bellingham in his team. The manager's already expressed the fact that Jude has to go and play, he can't play beside Rice. He said that he wants to be a 10 or a striker. So if we're going to play Jude in this team, we have to fit Cole Palmer in this team. And Bukayo Saka has so many elements. This is not me knocking Bukayo Saka, but Bukayo Saka has the element to be able to run down the line, beat his player and whipping great deliveries into people like Jude, who will be box crashing, and like Harry Kane, that will be box crashing.
He can do it, Matt. Like when he first started,
I'm pivoting. You know what? Do you know what it is? I don't particularly disagree. I think they're trying to set us up here to go back and forth and beef. But at the end of the day, we're here to support England, and I actually don't disagree with the word that you've just said. With your best players, look. Domestic football and international football is basically two different sports. You're playing with people that you only play with 10 times a year, and I agree, Chelsea's best performances come with Cole Palmer on the right, and Saka has got that versatility. He's got the ambidextrous about him, he can deliver it on the left and the right. I think there's a way for both of them to get in a team and play Jude in the 10. So I'm not sat here to beef anyone. I think we could play Saka
as an older guy here, that's seen the golden generation, as they called it. I see managers try and fit players in, right? And I'm not happy with that. So Saka for me is top 3 right winger in the world.
Oh no, that's you
know what I mean?
No,
So what are we doing here? Yeah, what are we doing here in the sense of trying to fit people in just because?
No,
earn your rights.
but you need moments. Think about big moments. You want the big players in the big moments. Cole Palmer, Euros.
I want players that play their all
season.
season.
Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka is a moments player.
I'm not disrespecting Bukayo Saka, but we did turn to Cole Palmer more recently in the recent tournaments. But I see the talents in Bukayo Saka. And like Stevo said, Bukayo Saka is a top 3 winger in the world. But I think England have 2 of the best right wingers in the world. Yeah. You have Lamine Yamal and you have the 2 English boys. Yeah. And for me personally, you got to look at what can you get out of them. Cole Palmer's been asked to play in that 10 and drift off to the left-hand side, and you don't get that quality of Cole cutting in on his left, looking at the ball inside the channel, whipping it top corner. We don't get that with Cole Palmer in the 10.
I even agree, as a Newcastle fan, I want, players from my club to represent the country, but you're right, there's no way Gordon should be starting ahead of these 2 wingers. Yeah, so with those balance, that's the right way to go
Can I just ask, your argument is trying to get everyone in?
No,
I know it's not necessarily the question, but then what are you doing with Foden?
This is the thing. Foden is not been at the top of his game. He is a central player, but he is a rotational player.
People are also forgetting that you now playing a game where you can make 5 substitutions. You can basically swap out half of your outfield team mid-game. So it's not an issue of where's Foden going to play. Foden can play half the game. We've got the best squad in the world, England. And I do think we have to find a way to put them all in somehow so that we can, it's a knockout tournament. If you don't play your best players, you're probably going to get knocked out.
Yeah, I feel like Phil Foden can definitely come into the team and be rotational in and around Jude Bellingham in the 10, but that's why I feel like we have to go out there and attack the games with our best wingers. And I think personally, it shows us a bit more versatility with having Cole Palmer being able to cut inside and Bukayo Saka to be able to cut inside and be able to hit the line, because he has got both feet, and that's how I think that we should both get them in there.
Mate, I come from the golden generation, watching the Beckhams, the Gerrards, the Lampards, the Scholeses, the Joe Coles, all trying to fit into a team, and then predominantly not becoming a team. So for me, I would rather build a squad, not that has the best players in the team, the best individuals, but the best team players. And I think Saka, in his rightful position, which is right wing, would be the right choice for me.
Yeah, I think these two were playing FIFA because in reality it's not about ratings, it's the team performance, and our best performances is when Saka's in his position and we're not playing around trying to fit everybody in.
I think Shaun's hit the nail on the head. I think you play your best players in international tournament, and I always think that's been England's biggest problem, is they always try and have a solution or a system, and it never really works out. Play your best players, and that's Cole Palmer on the right and Saka on the left, in my opinion.
For me, Bukayo Saka, as much as he's a good player, he doesn't rise in the big moments.
Oh
Cole
my
Palmer
God.
does rise in the big moments. You think about the Club World Cup final, unbelievable. You think about the last Euros final, what a goal. And you think about Conference League final. Cole Palmer's a big game player, and I want big game players in the big games. That's why it's all about Cole Palmer, chippy chips.